What's up everyone, it's Emma. Welcome back to my channel and to another video, and if you're new here, welcome to the channel. Today we're going to talk about learning lines as a blind actress, and yeah, I've been doing some self-tapes recently, and I've obviously had to learn some lines for those, and so I thought that it would be fun to kind of talk about it because I do things a little differently, and obviously, you know, everyone is gonna do things differently, like blind or not blind or anything, and so like it's just personally what works for you. But I thought it would be fun to tell you all what works for me and how I do it, because I am blind and I am an actress, and it's a little bit different. So yeah, before we get into today's video, don't forget to like and subscribe and comment down below what videos you want me to do, and we will get to them. I definitely do take requests. Sometimes it takes me a little bit longer to get to those, or you can message me on my social media, which is linked down below. So and then I'll get to those. So I do a bunch of different kinds of videos here, if you're new, you're new. But anyways, let's get into today's video. So as always, just a quick little recap for anyone that might be new. My name is Emma. I am completely blind, and I've been completely blind since birth, and obviously by the title of this video you know that I am a blind actress. So that's kind of just the context for, you know, why this video is who I am when it comes to the topic of today. So I, like I said earlier, have been filming a couple self-tapes recently, and I've always, you know, I think I was gonna say ever since I came here and went to school here, but it's actually been before that as well. When I went to I took drama classes and stuff. I've always been told that I have a very impressive memory, which I'm very, like, I appreciate it. I guess, you know, it's nice that they think that, but yeah, but I've always been told that. And that's because I tend to learn lines and like learn scripts pretty quickly. And I think that maybe a part of it is that, like I said, I've been doing it for a very long time. And that's just always what I've done. And to circle back to the topic of self-tapes, when you get sides for an audition and you have to like do a self-tape, you know, they usually give you like couple days to kind of prepare for the audition, and they give you a couple days until the deadline, excuse me, so you have, you know, you've got some time to kind of go over the lines and stuff, because they always say that you want to get it to look like you're not reading the paper, because obviously you print out your sides and everything, but you don't want it to, you know, you don't have to actually memorize it all, because it's for a self-tape. So it's just the audition, so you kind of learn you know, you read it so you can familiarize yourself with it, but you don't have to actually memorize it. Sometimes they've given, you know, sometimes they'll give you like to send it to you in the evening, and they'll be like, it's due by 5 p.m. tomorrow. I don't think I've ever gotten that yet. That will be a very interesting thing to see if I do get that, because what I have to do whenever I get these auditions is I have to learn the lines. I have to memorize the lines, because I cannot read you know, I can't print them out and read them, like I said, because I am fully blind. That's also, I have tried kind of copying them out in Braille and reading them that way, but it's not the best process for me. I figured that since I tend to learn things quickly and kind of pick them up quickly, I figured that would just be the best thing for me to do, and so that's what I do. That's personally what works for me. Obviously, like I said, you know, it might not work that way for everybody else, but for me, I struggled when I had to read them like that, versus when I kind of just memorized them. So that's why I memorize lines for that specific setting. And as for now we're gonna get into the process of like what that actually looks like, because it's typically the same for whether it's a self-tape or whether I'm learning lines for an actual project or anything. And it gets very interesting. So essentially what happens right now is sometimes I'll get a script and it'll be scanned images, or like, so they'll, you know, scan the PDF document to, I don't know how, I don't think I'm explaining this correctly. They'll scan the images and send it as a PDF. I think that sounds correct. And so, but what happens with that is if you can see, you can read it, obviously. But if you can't see, like me, and you use VoiceOver, or, you know, whatever screen reader you use. I use VoiceOver, so that's the one we're gonna go with. What it will do is it will mix it up, because it's in columns, you know, because they write it in the script format, and so it mixes it up, and it makes it look very funny. Sometimes you can't read it at all. Sometimes you can read it, but the lines, like your lines, are mixed up with somebody else's lines, and that can be fun, because, you know, then you won't be able to read it. So I get the documents like that, and then what we try to do if that happens is my mother will I don't know what software she uses. I think it's like Adobe something, and she will try and do something or other with Adobe to get it to work. And sometimes, so recently I had a self-tape where I got the scanned images, you know, pages, things, and and it was in a PDF, and then it didn't work. It didn't, you know, I couldn't read it. So then she did the thing with Adobe, and it still didn't work. And then what happened was, which should have been the first thing that I suggested, because we found that works. And so if anybody is watching this and they are blind and they're struggling with something like that, this usually works out for the best. Take the document and try to convert the PDF document into a Word document or a Google Doc. And that solves problems 99% of the time. It is a lifesaver. And that's just, it's very simple, you know, you don't need extra software and everything. And we found that definitely works a lot of the time. And then, you know, what I'll do is, because sometimes there's still that little chance that it works, and then it kind of, you know, it messes up a line here and there or something like that. So when you film your self-tape, typically if it's for like auditions, if you're like filming for a part, there's somebody reading with you, you know, you have somebody reading, just make sure, like, run lines with the person and just check that you've learned the lines. Most of them should work pretty fine, but like I said, sometimes there's just that little line that gets messed up. And so you just want to make sure that you've got all the correct lines so that you don't, you know, you haven't accidentally memorized them wrong or said the wrong words, because, you know, you want to respect the writing. So that is pretty much what I do in terms of lines, and that's what I've kind of found works. And then, like I said, with the learning process, I kind of just, well, that's the process of how I get the lines to be legible. I was like readable, legible. I think it's legible. Legible is a good word. That's the process of how I get the lines to be legible. When it comes to learning them, I will use my VoiceOver and let the VoiceOver read I'll read through it a couple times, and then I'll let VoiceOver read the other person's line and try to, you know, memorize mine, and I'll say mine back to the VoiceOver or to Siri. It sounds kind of crazy, but yeah, so that's what I do. And then it does help to run lines with, like I said, the person that you are going to read with and the person that's going to help you film the self-tape, if it's a self-tape, or if it's for the actual for an actual like project. Typically there's rehearsals as well, but yeah, that's pretty much the process of how I get the lines to be kind of legible, and then how I learn them. Learning them is pretty, I've always been asked how I learn them that quickly and how I memorize quickly, and I don't really have an answer to that. I'm really fortunate to be able to pick those things up quickly because, like I said, I don't have the ability to read them. You know, like especially for self-tapes and everything. But the best advice I can do is, you know, take them in parts. And sometimes, like with one of my recent one of my recent auditions, they had a bunch of lines where they were kind of like little monologues almost. And so what I did was I went through all of those and learned all of those first and kind of tried to memorize those, and then worked on the shorter lines, and that also helps as well. You know, like I said, going through it every time, asking for help, asking somebody to help read with you, getting the documents changed into Word or Google Docs definitely will help make the process a lot easier. And yeah, that's pretty much just my advice. I hope this video was informative, and I hope that it helped someone. I feel like it's kind of a mess, but the last couple weeks have been kind of a mess because I got sick, and then the time change happened, a little daylight savings time stuff. So it's been pretty fun. So my brain's kind of trying to get back on track. So hopefully it will. But yeah, that's about learning lines as a blind actress. Let me know if you guys want to see any more about it, because I can probably do videos on different topics and stuff. But yeah, thank you all so much for watching. Please don't forget to like and subscribe and comment down below what videos you want to see and share. And I will see you all in my next video. Bye!